so that we can follow their teachings.
Come on.
And that one that they sent is Herman Muhammad, the student minister in Denver, Colorado. So I want to bring before you our minister,
Yes, sir.
Herman Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah. Can we keep it going for a day? Please. Let us first start by saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. As students of religion and as citizens of this wonderful planet that we call Earth, we thank Allah for all of his messengers, all of his sages, all of his prophets, all of his great ones. We thank him for all of the scripture that they brought. So we thank Allah for Abraham and Moses and the Israelite prophets and the divine revelation of the Torah or the Old Testament. We thank Allah for Jesus and his disciples and the divine revelation of the Injil or the Gospel, the New Testament. We thank Allah for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah of 1400 years ago and the divine revelation of the Holy Quran. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of these worthy servants of his. But as students of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we can never thank Allah for his divine intervention in our affairs. He came personally.
Yes, sir.
He intervened in our affairs in the person of the great Mahdi, who is Master Fard Muhammad, who came from the holy city of Arabia 9,000 miles to seek and to save that which was lost.
Yes, sir.
That which was lost was black people right here in the hells of North America who have been kidnapped from our home.
Yes,
is that
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So we thank him for coming in the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad, and upon his arrival for raising one from amongst us. Because that is what God's pattern is. Whenever the people stray away from the straight path of Allah, he always raises one from amongst the people to give them a truth that will bring them back to Sirat al-Mustaqim, or the straight path. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that one that he raised is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. But if I live to be 1,000, I can never thank them both for leaving one in our midst as a divine reminder that God is present and in the world.
Yes, sir.
That person I'm striving my best to represent to you today. He's a beautiful black man, the most powerful black man on this earth right now. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
It is in their names that we greet you in the nation's greetings of peace. In our original language of Arabic, we say Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
And of course that means, like brother pointed out, peace be unto you. And we're living in a time where we absolutely need some peace. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
The whole world is on fire.
Yes, sir.
And get prepared, because a hotter day is coming. But thanks be to Allah, we are in a place where we're going to be cool. Because we're under the security of God himself.
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. For our guests who, this is your first time here, again, my name is Brother Herman Muhammad. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Denver, NOI Denver Study Group here in the great city of Denver, where this is the headquarters of the Nation of Islam in Denver, where we are striving to build something for our people. right?
Yes, sir.
And we thank you for spending your precious time with us today and coming to fellowship and learn of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I just want to say before I get started, I want to state our intention. Our intention is never to make mockery or even to entertain. But our intention is to enlighten, elevate, edify, and inspire. Our intention is that you learn something today that you did not know. Our intention is to give you something that you can actually use in your life, right? So we don't want it to be a place where, you know, you go to a church or a place of so-called spiritual teaching and the preacher is hooping and hollering and spitting and slobbering and you don't learn nothing.
Yes, sir.
They ask you, what did he talk about? You be like, I don't know, but he sure did do a whole lot of hollering.
Yes, sir.
So we don't intend to do that today. We intend to give you something that you can use. Now our subject today, and I wish there was more of us believers here too, because our subject is really geared not only towards our guests, but towards the believers as well. And it was inspired by this latest edition of the Final Call newspaper, When All Else Fails, Islam.
Yes, sir.
When all else fails, Islam. But that's not our subject. Our subject is taken from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's article, which is entitled, We Must Depend on Allah and Ourselves. We must depend on Allah and ourselves. And this is a very timely subject because it directly relates to really everything that we have going on in our mosque or in our study group. And it really, if you really look at it deeply and look at it closely, it is a subject that has everything to do with what's going on in the world. We must depend on Allah and ourselves. So I want to read something from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's article, which lays a base for what we'll talk about today. And I definitely want to encourage each and every one of you to pick up the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper on your way out and read not only the minister's article, but read every article in the paper. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. So this article, We Must Depend on Allah and Ourselves, is so important because I've been in the nation for over 30 years. I want to say 32 years, by Allah's grace. And this article is one of the most oft recurring articles that appears in the Final Call newspaper.
You gotta be reminded.
It started, it first appeared in the Final Call newspaper in 1988.
Wow.
Now that's, do the math, 34 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the, like I said, the most oft recurring articles that appears in the Final Call. So it's something apparently that the minister wants us to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's something really apparently that Allah wants us to see.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So we must depend on Allah and ourselves. So the minister starts, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We cannot build a nation of righteousness depending on the governments of the world. For most of the governments of the world have turned away from Allah God and are now suffering great loss. Who is better than Allah God to depend on for our sustenance and the granting of our innermost desires? Who knows what is best for us other than Allah God? Oftentimes, we have desires which, if fulfilled, will bring us great sorrow. However, if we are strong enough to desire only that which pleases Allah God, then we can never suffer disappointment and grief over not fulfilling some cherished desires. Allah, God, teaches us in the Holy Quran that He is the grantor of security and that He straightens the means of subsistence for whom He pleases. It is He then who can cause the earth to reveal its treasures to us. And it is He who can keep us from the treasures of the earth. So let us depend on Allah and ourselves. Why should we depend on ourselves? There is an old saying that God helps those who help themselves. We are taught in the Holy Quran, surely Allah changes not the condition of a people until they change their own condition. Powerful. That's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, we want to clear some words, and we want to make sure that we have an understanding as to who we're talking about when we say Allah, first of all. Allah, for those of us who don't know, is an Arabic word for God. It means the all in all.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We're not saying that you are incorrect if you say that Yahweh is God.
Right.
We're not saying that you're incorrect if you say that God's name is Jehovah. We're not saying that you're incorrect if you say God's name is Oshun or Kulu or Ra or whatever name you call Him by. What we're saying is that His proper name in our original language is Allah.
Yes, sir.
Because it means the all in all.
Yes.
It encompasses all of those names.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We believe in one God. So we just want to make that clear.
Come on with it.
Allah is the source. Man, these flies are going crazy.
Where did that come from?
Man, I don't know. There's something around here. There's something dead somewhere.
They got
I hope it ain't us.
I don't think so.
Man, right. So we must depend on Allah because Allah is the source from which all gifts come from. Right?
Right.
But the minister says we also must depend on ourselves.
Yes, sir.
So here we are, here at Muhammad's Mosque at a Nation of Islam meeting, learning the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, the root of the teachings of the honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, are all about teaching you the knowledge of yourself.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
He said that knowledge of self was the most important knowledge that we could attain. Socrates said that knowledge of self was the prerequisite knowledge. Before any other knowledge you attain, you got to know who you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you don't know who you are, man, shoot. Man, people can pull the wool over your head.
That's
Facts.
right. That's right.
They'll tell you who you are. They'll give you your assignment as to who you are.
Yes,
if you don't know who you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you don't know who you are, the people who giving you your assignment will have you calling one another, "What's up, my nigga?"
Come on.
Let's talk
Right?
about that. Yeah.
On the sister side, they be like, "That's my B over there."
Yes, sir.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And they say it endearing, like with love.
Yes, sir.
But they've been trained by someone else. Someone else has assigned them their identity.
Yes.
They don't know who they are.
Yes, sir.
Or else they would never refer to their brother
As a nigga.
as a nigga.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ever.
Yes, sir.
There's power in words.
Facts.
There's power in words. In the beginning was the word. And the Word, man, was actually God.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So there's power in words. If I say, that's my nigga over there. See, in my mental, because I really know what a nigga is, a nigga ain't nothing.
That's right.
Come on, come on.
So I'm not gonna assign no value to him if he's my nigga. I can kill him and not even think about it. Go have a burger and some fries right afterwards.
Yes, sir.
Watch some TV, play some Nintendo or Sega or whatever they play now. I don't even know.
Xbox.
Right? Xbox. If that's my nigga. But if that's my brother
Come on, break it down.
or my sister, now we're talking about some a different power. And I love the movement among these young people now where they're calling each other bro. Right? Because that's more of a term of endearment. Your brother, man, you love your brother. Even if you don't get along, man, that's still my brother. I love him. Even if he pisses you off, that's still my brother. That's still my sister. Right? So there's power in words. And this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us and what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is continuing to teach us.
Yes.
We must first be brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. So, you gotta know yourself. First of all, we know that we're brothers of one another. We know that we are the original people of the earth when we come into the nation of Islam. That is one of the first teachings that we get. We know that we're not what they taught us we were, that we're actually God. I'm gonna say that again. We know that we're not what they taught us we were.
Yes,
we're actually God.
Ooh, take that in.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, let that marinate. Let that marinate in your mind for a minute. Right? So we know, and we're given an assignment as to what it is that we're trying to build. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the aims of Islam and the fact that we're trying to build institutions, schools, hospitals, the whole nine. That we're trying to build an entirely new reality.
Yes, sir.
Because the world is changing, and this world is going down.
Facts.
Brother David talked about the fall of America, and it's taking place right now as we speak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is a book that was written by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, published in 1973. But when you read it today, it reads like the newspaper today.
Facts, sir. I bear with you.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, not only did he predict the fall of America, but he predicted also the raising of a new nation in its place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But as this new nation comes into place, the reality of it is, we're going to have some growing pains.
Facts.
Here we are.
Yes, sir. We're going through it right now.
Listen, if we're going to build something, right? If there's one nation that's going out and there's one nation that's coming in, which is what's happening. When an old nation is going out, there's a lot of destruction taking place.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of demo that has to take place. Demolition. You got to tear walls down, right? You got to haul the stuff away in order to bring in the material to build a new nation, right? So we're in that process as we speak. And we can see that the fall of America is clearly taking place. I don't have time to go into all of the details as to how this joint is falling, but just look at the news. Look at the fake news.
Yes, sir.
The fake news even lets you know that America's falling. But what I wanted to talk about with regards to us, and we must depend on Allah and ourselves. We know that everything comes from Allah or God. But ourselves? Do we truly know ourselves? Can we truly depend on ourselves? That's big, because a lot of times when we come into the nation, when we come into knowledge, yeah, we know the assignment. It's beautiful, man, working to build this wonderful nation. But when you really boil it down and look at it closely, ask yourself, who is myself?
I like that. Yes, sir.
Think about it now, because you got to depend on him or her.
Right.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Fard Muhammad, they gave us lessons. One lesson was called English Lesson C1, right? And the question was asked, who is yourself? Myself is a righteous Muslim, right?
Are there any other
And then, are there any other Muslims other than righteous? I beg your pardon. I've never heard of one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, brother.
So if yourself is a righteous Muslim, first off, that righteous Muslim, that's a double positive. That's like, why is that there? Because you can't be a Muslim if you're not righteous.
That means there's some unrighteous Muslims.
But an unrighteous Muslim, that would be an oxymoron. That don't even exist. Because a Muslim, by definition, is one who submits. If you're submitting your will to do the will of God, then you're already righteous, right?
Yes, sir.
So he said, are there any Muslims other than righteous?
That's what he said right afterwards.
So this is what I believe the lesson is trying to ask us. See, in order to really know ourselves, let me ask this question. How many of us in this room talk to themselves? Praise be to Allah. You know, my growing up, my older brother, he teases me to this very day. He used to say, man, when we was kids, man, you used to have straight up conversations with yourself. And it was true. Like I would literally talk to myself. And the reason being is, for one, as a kid, I had a very vivid imagination, right? But two, I was really getting, how is it that you can know somebody, say you married or you have a significant other, how are you ever going to know that person if you don't talk to them?
That's right. That's right.
That's a question. How you gonna know sister if you don't talk to her, brother? How you gonna know brother if you don't talk to him? You have to have a conversation. You have to have conversations in order to really get to know a person.
That's right. That's right.
It's the same way with getting to know Allah. You can't know Allah if you don't ever talk to him.
Right.
How could you possibly know God if you never go in the room and have a conversation between you and him? You can't. So Allah says in the Quran that he would not even care for us if it was not for our prayers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now think that over. If you don't have a conversation with your woman, brother, she don't care for you. Why would she? She don't know you. Right, sisters? You can't care for a man if you don't know him.
That's right.
Because we're going to never have a conversation. So you got to have a conversation with God. You got to talk to yourself intimately in order to get to know yourself. You got to talk to yourself to map out whatever plans you got in your mind. Otherwise, they just gonna sit dormant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's easy.
And here's the thing, man. This because people get judged whether or not they talk to themselves. They say, man, that Negro crazy over there talking to himself. And some of us are. However, again, you have to talk to yourself in order to know yourself. Black people shy away from counseling, don't we? Especially brothers. We ain't trying to talk to nobody about our problems.
We got the most problem.
Real talk. But really, the way that you get on top of your problems, brothers and sisters, you have to talk about it. You absolutely have to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The first person you should talk to is self, or God,
Yes, sir.
or God and self, because they're the same thing, same person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But if you need a little bit something to bounce something off of someone, you speak to a fellow God. Right?
Yes, sir.
A fellow God is another person who is on that same path, who has that same deen, who has that same type of understanding. It's called counseling.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We have to know self, right? So, as we learn self, get to know self, then we get to fall in love with self.
Right.
Can't love yourself if you don't know yourself.
Sure can.
And guess what? You can't love anybody else beyond your capacity to love your own self.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Talk about
It's
that.
impossible
It is.
for you to say, I love you, baby, when you don't love yourself.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
You are a liar.
That's right.
Come on.
That's just a fact. You don't have the capacity to love someone more than you love God and self.
That's right.
So it is incumbent upon us, brothers and sisters, that we have to get to know self. Got to. You got to know what, man. You have to know why it is that you do what you do.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because a lot of times we get stuck, man. We get stuck in a rut and we don't really understand, man, why do I keep doing this? Right? And the only way you're going to be able to find out why you do what you do is you got to talk to yourself. And then you have to make up your mind according to what you have learned of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the way that we should live our lives in a rightly guided way. And then move based upon that.
That's right.
But we got to have that conversation with our own selves. Right? We got to be honest with self.
That's
Man.
come on, God.
And look, here's the thing. Because I talked about these growing pains in the nation. And as this nation is coming out, yeah, we're going to have growing pains. We're going to rub each other the wrong way.
Come on.
And
Come on.
most of us, I said that wrong. All of us.
Yes. Inclusive. All of
All of us. None of us fall down from heaven. We all coming up out of hell.
That's right.
So when we're rubbing each other the wrong way, depending on who the person is, if you rub me right here, I got a whole lot of nigga that's gonna come out. He waiting to come out. He just can't wait to get robbed. You don't rub the wrong way, right?
That's what they do. That's what they do.
So if you rub me the wrong way, oh, it's coming out, right? So we're gonna experience that. And as a student in the labor of this nation of Islam, the focal point is going to be on me, it's going to be on the student laboring body. And a lot of times the believer might have a problem with somebody who's in the laboring body.
Right.
Rub them the wrong way. Rub them the wrong way. And so, you know, that can cause and create problems within the growth of the organization. But thanks be to Allah for the guidance and the wisdom of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has told us continuously that we cannot depend on Brother Herman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or Brother Afsar.
Go ahead, brother.
Or Sister Mary.
Go ahead, brother.
Brother James.
Go ahead.
Or whoever's in authority. We have to depend on Allah
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes.
and ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Because again, I'm going to rub you, man. You don't know what I got going on.
Yes, sir.
You don't know how often I talk to myself.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because if I don't talk to myself enough, what's going to happen is, and if you don't talk to yourself enough, and if you don't depend on Allah and yourself enough, what you going to do is you going to start playing what we call the blame game.
Right.
Talk about that, brother. Talk about that.
See, it's brother so-and-so's fault.
Yes, sir.
It's sister so-and-so's fault.
Come
That,
on with it.
you know, I just can't mess with them niggas. And it's so funny the way we so crazy.
Come on.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
We so crazy, right?
Yes, sir.
And I say that because, you know, we can rub each other wrong one time. That nigga got one time. Sometimes we say that. That nigga got one time.
No compassion.
And we done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But white folks,
Oh, sorry.
oh my God.
Oh,
They've been doing us dirty for 467 years. Straight.
talk
Yeah.
about that.
Straight.
Yes, sir.
And we still. Oh man, I need to go cast my vote for President Biden.
Yes,
Just
sir.
think that over now.
Ain't all that bad.
Yeah, right. He ain't as bad as Trump. Yes, he is. He's worse than Trump.
Work.
We are so unforgiving to self.
That's how it was taught. That's how it was taught.
And we're really unforgiving to one another because we are unforgiving to self.
Right.
Think that over now.
That's
Because when you look at him and you look at her, you're really looking at self.
a good teaching, brother. Good teaching, sir.
So we can't forget, man, I can't forget that brother, man.
Yeah.
That nigga did this, blah, 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 blah. Run it down what he did, right?
Forgive yourself.
Because you really can't forgive
Yes,
yourself.
sir. Good teaching, sir.
Oh, man. Y'all all right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good teaching.
So look, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in this article, and it's such a powerful article, and it's short too, but I definitely want us to revisit it and read it. But in the article he says, David the psalmist wrote, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills,
From whence come my help?
from whence cometh my help?
Mm-hmm.
My help cometh from the Lord,
Who created
who
heaven?
made heaven and earth. Oh man, that's powerful. That's so powerful, right? That's deep too. Look. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. So in that, what Allah is saying is when we need help, you have to look inward.
Yes, sir.
Allah says in the Quran that He's closer to you than your jugular vein or your life vein.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Look.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's powerful.
Yes, sir.
You hear that?
So Allah is literally coursing through your blood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you gotta look inward from whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. See, he made heaven, which is the highest part of our mind. Oh, man. And earth, which is what we are comprised of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all know we all come from the earth, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he made them both. So look, so the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that everything that we need, everything, Brother Herman, everything that we need, Allah has already given it to you before you were ever born.
Great. Come on.
Y'all didn't hear me.
Yes.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I want you to think about that now. Everything that we need, Allah has already deposited it in us before we're ever even born.
That's right. That's right.
So we have to talk to ourselves. Right? Not only do we have to talk to ourselves, but on top of that, we have to practice the principles that we are being taught in order to bring out that which Allah has already deposited in ourselves. Are there any other Muslims other than righteous? I beg your pardon. I've never heard of one. So you were a Muslim when you were born. But you're not righteous until you begin practicing what you have been taught. Think that over now.
That's right.
You were born to submit.
Yes.
But righteousness is based upon your action. Oh man, y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So, as we come through this building of a nation and us rubbing each other the wrong way and not understanding why brother does this or brother did that, we have to understand that in establishing this great nation of Islam, that Allah has already put into the positions of authority those whom at this particular time He pleases.
That's
sir.
right. Yes, sir. That's right.
I'm gonna say, hey,
Yes,
Say it
sir.
again.
it ain't on me.
That's right.
It's on Allah.
That's right.
He has put into these positions of authority those whom He pleases.
Right. Come on.
And look, as you look at these persons, as imperfect as we are, and I'm speaking about myself,
Yes, sir.
Allah has put something in me for you.
Yes.
Now, it might not be positive.
Great. That's real.
Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to say it's something positive, because I don't know.
It might be.
It might be something negative. He might put something in me that's something in you.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Wait.
Come on. Don't stop now.
Something in you that He wants you to see in me,
Yes, sir.
Come on.
so that you can look at yourself.
Come on. Come
There
on.
it is. There it is.
Man,
Come on. Good teaching. Oh, praise God. Wow.
listen, these are, if God's building a new world, which He is, these are divine positions.
That's right.
Now, again, I'm not saying that's me. I'm saying the position, the post. So we're taught in the Nation of Islam that we should respect authority.
Yes.
Period. Point blank. Until and unless it conflicts with your religion.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
You got to respect the authority.
Right.
So we have to treat those persons in those positions with the respect that they're due. See, a lot of us, man, we don't know what respect is. Let me tell you what respect is. Respect comes from two root words. Re, which means again, and the Latin specter, which means to look. Look again. If you think you know what you're looking at, look again. Because Allah, man, has placed something valuable in that something that you're looking at that you might not see the first time.
Come on, come on.
Come on, big brother.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
See, Allah, man, in the Quran, it says, surely Allah knows best where to place his message.
That's right.
He knows. He knows what you need. And even if a person is in a position of authority and he's straight up wicked, Allah put him there. Allah put him there.
Gotta test the people.
He put him there for a reason. He wants you to see something. But he also put him there for a season.
It's not for us.
It's not forever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because as when God's kingdom comes into fruition, which is happening, it's going to be totally righteous.
Set all tyrants down.
Is that right?
Yes,
it's
sir.
going to be totally righteous. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. So, during this time of transition, of the changing of the worlds, we have to look again at self. I love staying at self, right? I love staying at self because it takes all the responsibility off of the people that we blame.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Gotta deal with yourself.
Facts.
You got to deal with yourself. I was told a long time ago by a brother in my journey in the Nation of Islam, and this was a brother who wasn't helping at all. And at the time, I was a student captain, and I was kind of checking him, right? And trying to get him to do what, you know what I'm saying, what he said he was going to do. And he said to me, he said, brother, why don't you be the change that you want to see?
Come on, come on, come on.
Come on with that.
I mean, real talk. He told me, like, why don't you be the change that you want to see?
That's right. That's right.
No one else will see it.
And I was like, you know what?
I'll do that.
You're right.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
You're absolutely right.
Right.
As you were. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to be the change that I want to see. I have to, you be what it is that you know what Allah wants you to be. And then watch how he blesses you. Right? Oh man, y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. So, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan writes in this article, and again, it's short, but I'm gonna put this up. He says, we must depend on Allah and ourselves. In the book of Proverbs 26:13, we are taught that slothful, lazy people make excuses not to work, saying there is a lion or a beast in the way. A lion or beast is in the streets. Instead of killing the lion or taming him, his presence is used as an excuse to stay indoors, and thus, as the door turneth upon its hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. So we're like that lazy one in the Proverbs
Yes, sir.
who use
The beast.
someone being in our way
Mm.
as an excuse.
Mm. Mm.
Instead of killing the beast
The taming and
or taming him. Look at that, man. Yes, sir, for the answer. It's used as an excuse to stay indoors. We don't want to come out anymore. And the bad part about it is, a lot of times, man, when we stop coming out, we stop helping, we don't even call the person who we say is a problem.
No.
We don't even call that person and say, hey, man, I got a problem with you.
Right.
We just stop coming. We don't even give that person a chance to repent or redeem themselves.
the benefit of the doubt.
We don't even let them know that they are a problem.
That's it. Right there. That part.
We just stop coming. We use it as an excuse.
Easy way out.
All praise is due to Allah. When all you gotta do again, because again, if you're having a conversation with yourself, you should tell yourself self.
Ain't no end big deal. Keep it pushing.
Let's call brother up
Right.
and have a conversation. See if we can iron this thing out.
Come on.
Because like we stated in the beginning, we're all brothers. I tell you, me and my brother, I
Come
swear to
on, come
God,
on. Come on.
we fight like, I mean, we done had some bang outs, right? But at the end, I always like, hey man, I love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get off the phone now. You know what I'm saying? But you let them know, like, I got a problem with this, I got a problem with that. We might not see things eye to eye, but man, I love you. You're still my brother. We won't even, instead of killing the lion or taming him, look at what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says about that. He says, listen to this and then I'm done. Allah God has given through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad the wisdom to conquer the beast and civilize the savage. So let every believer depend on Allah God and ourselves and go to work today and do something for ourselves. Now, that's saying a lot in a very small sentence. But when he says to conquer the beast and civilize the savage, understand who we talking about. There it is, Sister Mary. the beast ain't that brother that you talking about. Or that sister that you talking about. You the beast. You the savage. You. It's that one in your own self. Man. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. So today, man, it presents an awesome opportunity. An awesome opportunity to follow this wonderful teacher who, through him, Allah is bringing in this new nation. This wonderful teacher who has been teaching amongst us for 67 years. And when I say teaching amongst us, I mean he has been consistent for 67 years.
Right. Yes, sir.
Consistent.
Consistent.
Like on point. Like fighting for black people.
Right.
Like so-called American Negroes. Like niggas. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, you know how hard it is to work for them type of people for 67 years?
Not waiting.
I mean, some of us can't do it for 67 days or 67 minutes.
Facts.
And he been doing it for 67 years. All praise is due to Allah. But let's get up, family. And let's depend on Allah and ourselves. And let's go to work. And with that, man, thank you for listening. I'm going to leave you as I greeted you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Praise be to Allah. All right. So, in the nation, it's your brother Herman, Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website astar2.com and click on the Ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.